This is a method of reasoning question, and we have to find the criticism that the argument is susceptible to. The conclusion is that medical research supports the hypothesis that living a long life is mostly the result of good exercise and diet habits. The missing link is between the medical research suggesting a firm correlation between longevity and maintaining a healthy body mass index, and the conclusion that this research supports the hypothesis that living a long life, that is longevity, is the result of good exercise and diet habits. Our broad expectation from the correct answer choice is that it should be something on the lines of an assumption that healthy body mass index is related to good exercise and diet habits and not related to genetics. Answer choice A. The argument mentions that living a long life is mostly the result of good exercise and diet habits. The argument uses the term mostly, which indicates that the argument implicitly acknowledges the possibility that some with good exercise and diet habits may not actually live long. This possibility is highlighted in this answer choice. However, ignoring this possibility is not the criticism of the argument because the argument implicitly acknowledges this possibility. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice B. The argument mentions that in most cases, living a long life is a result of good exercise and diet habits. In other words, the argument mentions that good exercise and diet habits may be sufficient to ensure long life in most cases. However, the answer choice does not suggest that good exercise and diet habits are necessary for living a long life. So this answer choice implicitly acknowledges that there are some people who do not have good exercise and diet habits who live a long life. And hence, the argument cannot be criticized because it fails to acknowledge this possibility. Please note that this answer choice commits the classic GMAT error of confusing sufficiency with necessity. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice C. The argument talks about research and says that according to the research, longevity is because of healthy body mass index. And then the argument concludes that longevity is the result of good exercise and diet habits and not a result of genetics. So in other words, the argument assumes that healthy body mass index is related to good exercise and diet habits and not related to genetics. However, this assumption can be flawed if there is a single factor that causes both a healthy body mass index and having genetics that are predisposed for longevity. In such a case, the conclusion does not hold, and ignoring this possibility of the same factor influencing healthy body mass index and genetics, ignoring this possibility is the criticism of the argument. A good answer choice? Let's keep this on hold. Answer choice D. The argument talks about medical research and says that the research indicates that longevity and healthy body mass index are related. Then the argument concludes that good exercise and diet habits is what cause longevity. So the assumption made in the argument is that healthy body mass index is correlated with good exercise and diet habits. However, for the conclusion to hold, only a simple correlation is required. Whereas this answer choice talks about a cause-effect relationship because it says that those with healthy body mass index are the only ones. Now this is the key piece here, the only ones are the only ones that have good exercise and diet habits. So this statement basically establishes a cause-effect relationship, whereas such a relationship is not an assumption in the argument. So it is incorrect to state that the argument can be criticized on the basis of the assumption stated in this answer choice. Also note that the term only once is extreme in nature and it is unlikely to be an assumption. So let's eliminate this answer choice. Answer choice E. The assumption in the argument is that healthy body mass index and good exercise and diet habits are correlated. The argument does not assume that good exercise and diet habits are feasible for everyone. Another way to check whether this is an assumption is to judge whether this answer choice is necessary for the conclusion to hold. In other words, even if good exercise and diet habits are not feasible for everyone, the conclusion may still hold. So this answer choice cannot be an assumption. Also, this assumption cannot be a criticism of the argument. Again, please note that the term everyone is extreme in nature and hence it is too strong to be a valid assumption. So let's eliminate this answer choice. C is the correct answer choice.